Larry Bird, Indiana State Naismith Trophy winner 1979. Larry Bird holds 30 Indiana State records and graduated as the NCAA's 5th all-time leading scorer. He led Indiana State on a miracle run in 1979, an undefeated season and a trip to the NCAA Championship game. Simply put, Larry the Legend knew how to win. He could make any shot in the book, and when the game was on the line, all he wanted was the ball. Finishing his career with over 2,800 points and 1,200 rebounds, Indiana State would never come close to his kind of success again. He was named to the NCAA Final Four all-time team, and his NBA career is legendary. Larry Bird was one of basketball's best.
Little-known Indiana State Sycamores, and he started killing teams, practically 1-on-5. Larry turned Indiana State into a powerhouse. But he discovered that what most people wanted to talk about wasn't his game, but his skin color.
Bird can do it all. He beats you inside and outside as well. Bird ranks 6th on the list of all-time leading scorers and tops on our Converse All-America roster for 1979. Las Vegas is the setting for most of the premier college stars to match their skills in the 8th annual Pizza Hut Classic. Larry Bird is the feature attraction, but you can bet that many Converse All-America stars will shine before this game is over. The game itself is a benefit for Easter Seals that attracts nationwide attention, as well as professional scouts and coaches window shopping for the future. A follow-up rebound by Notre Dame's Bruce Flowers gets the East off and winging. Flowers, a determined, scrappy player who captained Notre Dame in '79, scores again for the East Stars. Most of these All-Stars will go on to the pro ranks. A bright prospect from the University of Las Vegas, Nevada, Earl Evans, helped the West bounce back. The West keeps battling, and here's a bucket by Lawrence Butler of Idaho State. It looks like volleyball until Dudley Bradley of North Carolina breaks out of the pack to score as the East stretches its lead to a commanding 17 points at halftime. In the second half, Larry Bird and Earl Evans go head-to-head. Evans becomes the game's high scorer with 21 points, leading a Western surge. The East goes back to its ace, Larry Bird. Bird scores in the clutch and sews up the game MVP honors. Detroit's Terry Jurod caps off a colorful and exciting contest as the East outlasts the West 107-92.
It all began here in Salt Lake City, Utah, on the night of March 26, 1979. It was the NCAA Championship, Indiana State versus Michigan State, a game that still ranks as the highest-rated college final ever on television. A game that's now remembered as a prologue to a rivalry that transformed a sport and intertwined two legacies. But on that night, March 26, 1979, the first time Magic Johnson and Larry Bird ever went head-to-head on a basketball court, they were simply two young men trying to win a very big ballgame. He and Bird were chosen to play for Team USA in the World Invitational Tournament.
They would put Larry Bird and I on the same team together to scrimmage, right? It was blowing my mind because he's dominating Jack Givens, Player of the Year in college basketball. Larry Bird is eating him alive. I couldn't wait to call home to tell my boys, man, this dude named Larry Bird is for real. This is the baddest white dude I've ever seen in my life.
Best guard on the team.
Irvin Johnson, look at that. Oh!
I think our first game was in Kentucky.
Fast break again, 3-on-2, Griffith. Wow! Look at that steal by Larry Bird.
Again,
That's Bird and Johnson.
the show started again.
With extra pass, you want to get that rebound and start to break.
I go behind my back, no look to him. He no look back to me. And I'm like,
Here's that last play. Magic Johnson going in, drops off to Bird. Bird puts it back off, inside to Johnson. Superman.
They had some wonderful moments on the court, but they...
Wherever Hoosiers gather, they no longer talk of weather. Indiana has a new state bird. Now his claim to fame is just the way he plays the game. Indiana has a new state bird. It's not the Cardinal now. Hey Larry, take a bow. Indiana has a new state bird.
By the time he had led tiny ISU as a senior to a 33-0 record and a spot in the '79 title game, Larry Bird had become, alongside Magic Johnson, the talk of college basketball. Just a year after sharing the court on Team USA, they were back together. And the day before the big game, Magic couldn't wait to greet his old playmate.
Indiana State was on. I wanted to definitely, when they came through, it was like nobody would say nothing. Sure that he didn't say nothing. And then they kind of started snickering like, Michigan State, you and...
Magic was the bigger star, but by tip-off it was Bird, having hardly missed a shot in the semifinal, who had become the focus of fans and, more importantly, of Michigan State.
We actually...
There he is, Dick. Look at they have him sandwiched in completely.
I'm surprised they didn't play.
And when he finally did hit the court in the fall of 1976, now fully grown at 6 feet 9 inches tall, he was ready to bring the unheralded Sycamores national prominence and take the state of Indiana by storm.
Wherever Hoosiers gather, they no longer talk of weather. Indiana has a new state bird. Now his claim to fame is just the way he plays the game. It's not the Cardinal now. Hey Larry, take a bow. Indiana has a new state bird. Out of old French Lick, gone up to ISU. He came to play some basketball. Now we don't know a thing about what the future will bring, but for now we're gonna spread the word. The fighting Sycamores are racking up the scores, and Indiana has a new star.
Larry had become a basketball phenomenon, a big man who could shoot and pass like a guard, playing for a little-known rural college and resembling a 20th century Huckleberry Finn. He seemed as if out of a storybook, and quite naturally the national media began to flock to Terre Haute.
People were coming down from...
Being very bright. Head coach Bob King had suffered a stroke and was replaced by Bill Hodges on the sidelines. The Sycamores would begin the 78-79 campaign with a rookie head coach, a group of role players, and one determined All-American to lead them.
Every offense we ran, the first thing we wanted to happen was Larry to touch the ball. And that was our goal, was get it in his hands 75% of the time that we had it.
Bird and his Sycamores would defy the odds as they stunned the college basketball world by posting the best record in the nation.
The way we were beating teams was just on pure guts and determination.
With Bird providing the inspiration, Indiana State ignored their limitations.
By Larry practicing and playing 100%, you know, he demanded that you play.
And he missed it. Miley has it with 2 seconds. Eaton half the length of the court. Got it! It's right! He made it! He made the shot! I don't believe it! From half and it's right! I don't believe this.
Pulling out improbable victory after improbable victory, the Sycamores would finish the season undefeated, earning their school's first NCAA tournament berth and becoming the country's Cinderella team.
Everything just fell into place. It was not only good for the college, it was good for the community, and it was good for the players. Everybody.
The Sycamores' fairy tale story would continue in the NCAA playoffs as they knocked off the Hokies of Virginia Tech and the Sooners of Oklahoma. Cinderella was still at the ball, And versus Arkansas in the regional finals, midnight was nowhere in sight.
7 seconds to go. Reed gets it to Heaton. He's the clutch player. He made it! Bob Heaton keeps Indiana State undefeated. They're on to the Final Four. It's destiny for these guys. Jimmy made a 50.
How good does it feel? You're going to the Final Four.
I don't know what to say. We're here. We finally made it.
Larry had made it. He had watched Indiana celebrate a national championship without him. Now, he would lead his Sycamores into Salt Lake City as part of one of the most celebrated Final Four in college basketball history. Facing favored DePaul, he would play his best game of the tournament, hitting an incredible 16 of 19 field goals.
Oh, what a catch! What a catch! Drops in another. What a touch! Phenomenal display. State has won it.
The Sycamores were headed for the finals. Their dream season was nearing an end. In many ways, crystallized everything that had brought him so far from home. It was the end of a magical season and the beginning of a new journey. It was the final game of a 5-year basketball odyssey and a final step into the national spotlight. It was Larry Bird's greatest defeat and the start. He has played with the passion of the underdog.
But he didn't want to be part of the game. Larry was really just a basketball player.
Magic and Larry were the best basketball players in the country. And together, neither one of them could have done it without the other. They became the biggest story in the game.
Well, you'd have had to live under a rock to have not heard about Magic Johnson or Larry Bird. They are
The 1979 NCAA Championship, starring Magic and Larry, was the highest rated basketball game ever, college or pro, before or since. For a country that saw itself in black and white, this was the drama America couldn't resist.
It was racial. But
Johnson with the ball. And he is fouled. Look at Irvin Magic Johnson.
the country was getting its first real look at the two players who would come to define basketball in the 1980s.
On this night, it was Michigan State over Indiana State, Magic over Larry. And if you wanted, playground basketball over fundamentals, urban over rural, black basketball over white basketball, whatever.
There were as many ways of looking at it as there were ways of looking at America. But the bottom line was this: it was awesome, and we wanted more.
Larry Bird. Wearing number 33 at center, 6'9" senior from French Lick, Indiana, Larry Bird.
Indiana State was this nobody team, and Larry Bird, back then, he was God. They treated him like he was God.
Larry Bird! Oh.
Came back home, and I said, I don't care what you guys say, I don't want to hear any shit, but the best player I've ever seen is a white dude from Indiana. Larry Bird ain't no fake.
He first entered college. So Larry Bird is eligible for the draft, and even though he still had one more year of eligibility left in Indiana State.
There's no question in anybody's mind in the top bunch that picked that if they could sign him at that point, he would be the #1 pick. It's just a question of 3.5, 4 months, then we hope to sign him.
We agreed we would wait. My hand shook as I wrote Larry Bird down. The Celtics took Larry Bird at number 6. Larry goes back to Indiana State.
There's the Bird watch. Oh, he's going to be a Celtic? Is he that good, though?
Larry Bird, the college player of the year who holds more records than any discotheque in Indiana.
Larry Bird is for real.
Bird inside. College basketball's player of the year.
Is Bird going to be that good? Give me a little NBA
I think so. I think that Larry Bird is looked upon and perhaps
basketball fast and witness the crowning of a new national champion.
Larry Bird may well become the highest paid rookie ever.
On January 19th, 40 years after one of the greatest seasons in college basketball history, Indiana State University and the city of Terre Haute gathered to honor their heroes.
It was a dream come true for all of us. It was like everything you think college basketball should be.
It doesn't seem like it really happened.
1979 was a pretty special time.
4 decades ago, from the farmlands of Western Indiana, a mid-major college team rose up. Comprised of JC transfers and a rookie head coach, they made hoops history and put a small town on the national stage.
I don't believe it! Indiana State has won it!
And like any good fairy tale, this Cinderella had a hero, a man named Bird.
Larry Bird was unique because he could do it all. We hadn't seen somebody at 6'9", 6'10" that could actually do that. He was a special college basketball player.
I was there for one reason, trying to get in the NCAA tournament and do as well as we possibly could.
He recognized that he needed this team for us to do well, and everybody bought into that. Everyone believed that.
We didn't want to disappoint him, and we wanted to raise our game up for him.
We started to believe more and more that this could be something special.
They won by blowouts and buzzer beaters.
Half the length of the court. Yeah! He made it! I don't believe it!
They won when Bird scored 30 and when held to just 4. But they just kept winning. All of a sudden, ISU was 20-0 and ranked #1 in the country. And the city of Terre Haute was the epicenter of college hoops.
Terre Haute and Indiana State have gone wild.
We weren't UCLA. We weren't some big school from some big conference. We were just little Indiana State out of Terre Haute.
Our guys have set a goal to get to the Final Four. I hope we play well enough to do it. I'll see ya. There he is, the coach of the #1 rated Sycamores of Indiana State.
They finished the regular season 29-0 and claimed the #1 overall seed entering the tournament. And were now poised to become the first mid-major school ever to go undefeated and win a national title. With Bird averaging 27 points a game, they took down Virginia Tech, Oklahoma, and Arkansas on their way to the Final Four.
We were like, wait a minute, this team is good. And Larry Bird is great.
Against DePaul in the Final Four, Bird saved his greatest performance for his biggest stage yet.
And Bird controlling the game.
Behind his 35 points, 16 rebounds, and 9 assists,
Does he ever miss?
they advanced to the NCAA final. On March 26th, Indiana State's Magic season met up with another Magic. This one from Michigan State, in the highest-rated NCAA final ever.
I just feel like, you know, I'm representing not only myself, my team, but we're representing our school and our town of Terre Haute.
Yeah, we were confident. I just thought we were going to beat them. We thought we were equal to the task.
Indiana State proved that if you really believe in yourself, that no matter what league you play in, you can go all the way to the NCAA Championship game. But we were playing our best basketball. No way they were going to beat us on that Monday night. Just no way.
Rebound Johnson. Magic Johnson with the ball. Oh, he scores! Look at Irvin Magic Johnson.
It broke my heart that I wasn't able to bring back a championship to Terre Haute. I knew I had to play a perfect game, and it didn't happen.
Bird with a good save. What hands?
I think everybody was stunned that how did this happen? That wasn't supposed to happen.
No one should feel sad for Indiana State. They've done a magnificent job. They're a great ball team.
We were very disappointed that we couldn't win our last game and have that undefeated season run, but we still felt like we were champions.
In the 40 years since their near-perfect run, Indiana State has only one tournament victory, making the legend of '79 all the more meaningful for the town of Terre Haute.
I mean, it was a special team. We showed the world that if you give your best and the people around you give your best, good things are going to happen.
A lot of people saw in that team their own dreams. And that team brought them to life.
It just seemed like the basketball gods did poof, and that was it. It had to be the basketball gods that, looked down and said, well, let's let these guys do something special. And we did. We did.